Hello everybody, I am Wiggle Burrito and I am back with another video. This week, we're going to go back to the How to Get Better with series and we're going to be focusing on Darth Vader for this week. And before we get this going, because I really don't have any other announcements in this, before we get this video started, I would like to give a shout out to Nerfy Gaming, because he helped us make the Battlefront 2 with the Boys 4 that will be coming out later this week, maybe Friday I would say. So go subscribe to him, he makes great videos, they're super funny, go check him out. So I think that's all the intro I'm going to do. I can't think of anything else right now, so I think it's just time to get right into how to get better with Darth Vader. So some things we're going to be going over this video is star cards you want to use for GA and HVV, some heroes you're going to want to watch out for whichever game mode you're in, and some heroes you're going to want to play a little more aggressive towards, because Darth Vader might have the advantage on them. And then we'll finish it off with some overall just general tips, some things to help you get better, some small things, some common misconceptions a lot of players do, and just stuff like that. So with all that all out of the way, I think it's time to get right into star cards you'll want to be using for Darth Vader. So Darth Vader's a lot like some few heroes where you actually don't need a certain 3 star cards or else you won't be good, but there's definitely some that are better than others. So starting with Galactic Assault or Supremacy. When I say Galactic Assault, I just mean Trooper game modes, anything that isn't heroes versus villains. So there's 2 possible combinations for his star cards for these Trooper game modes, and it just really comes down to how you like to play him. So the first combination for star cards is the tank setup. If all you care about is just every single kind of damage reduction, health, anything, you just don't want to die as Darth Vader, here's 3 star cards you want to be using. And those 3 star cards are Furious Resilience, Bonus Health, and Fueling the Rage. So these star cards are mainly if you're new to Darth Vader, if you've played him a couple times, but you still kind of find yourself losing a lot of health in situations you probably shouldn't lose that much health in. So if you find yourself like that, you definitely want to go with this setup of star cards. And if you're unfamiliar with those star cards, all they are is just more health and damage reduction of some sort. It just helps you stay alive. But if you still fall into that category where you're fairly new with him, but you don't want to run all 3 star cards related to health, which is not even a bad strategy, I would recommend substituting Fueling the Rage for Surrounded by Fear. So all Surrounded by Fear does is just when you kill someone, all of your stamina will just be automatically replenished. So Surrounded by Fear is actually a really good card if you still find yourself losing health a lot quicker, but you find that losing stamina is more of a problem than losing health. Surrounded by Fear is a great way to manage your stamina. But if you consider yourself fairly experienced with Darth Vader, like if he's like above level 50 or somewhere around there, like you consider yourself pretty decent with him, here's the 3 star cards you want to be using. Those star cards are the same: Furious Resilience, Bonus Health, and either Intensified Lightsaber Throw or Punishing Grip. But if you truly want what I use, I just like the Furious Resilience, Bonus Health, and then Intensified Lightsaber Throw, because after Darth Vader got nerfed, his Lightsaber Throw can no longer just one-shot 150 health infantry with just touching them once. It has to hit them on the way there and then back. So that star card helps you actually get kills with Lightsaber Throw. And all Punishing Grip does is make you choke whoever you're choking. It chokes them longer, so it'll actually end up killing 150 health infantry, and you won't have to like run up to them and hit them with your lightsaber to finish them off. So star cards for heroes versus villains or hero showdown, it's the same thing for Darth Vader. You want to be using Bonus Health, Punishing Grip, and then either Fueling the Rage or Intensified Lightsaber Throw, whichever one you like better. So now that we're done with star cards, we're going to move on to something I forgot to say actually in the intro, some 3 of his best maps. We're going to go over his top 3 best maps for Galactic Assault, because HVV really doesn't matter what map you're on, because unlike GA there's no like objectives or anything, it's just 35 lives versus 35 lives, go anywhere you want. So for GA there's 3 good maps that you definitely want to choose him on. Those maps are Naboo, which is the map you're watching right now, Kamino, and Yavin 4. But that definitely doesn't mean that those are the only maps he's good on. I think it's safe to say he's good on every map, maybe except for Geonosis, just because that's not good for any hero really. Any hero on the dark side at least. And if you wanted an order of those maps they're in, if you really wanted to be specific, I would say in the order I said. Naboo would be his best, then I would say Kamino, then I would say Yavin 4. So now that we've gone through star cards, then we visited his 3 best maps, I think now it's time to go to some heroes you want to watch out for and some heroes you want to play a little more aggressive towards. And as to for heroes to watch out for, I mean, nothing really came to my mind quickly. I mean, I guess if I had to say one, Anakin, just because he's the best light side hero in my opinion. But if you're Darth Vader, he just does so much damage, his abilities are so good, and he just has so much health. You really don't need to constantly watch out for any hero like some other villains would. As for some heroes you want to play a little more aggressive towards, now I say this in every how-to, that doesn't mean every single time you see them, beeline right towards them, even if you're on 200 health. But you know what I mean by play a little more aggressive towards, hopefully. So some heroes that would fall into that category would be Leia, just because she doesn't have a lot of health at all. And if you can get her in a choke, she's as good as dead, as long as you're not super low or she has a ton of teammates around her. And then another one I would say BB-8, just because he's BB-8, he doesn't have a lot of health, he can't block. Then if you needed a third one that was a lightsaber hero, I would say Luke or Rey, just because they also don't have too much health, not great health regeneration. Rey might be annoying if she can get a mind trick on you, but Luke shouldn't have you too much trouble just because he doesn't have a lot of health. So now that we've gone over star cards, some heroes to watch out for, and his best maps, then we're going to get ahead into our last segment, which is just some overall tips and things you should start doing. So the easiest and obvious first thing that comes to my mind is what I see a lot of newer Darth Vader start doing, is when they have someone in their choke, whether it's a hero, reinforcement, infantry, anything that's on the opposing side in your choke, you don't want to throw your lightsaber at them when you're choking them. I know that might seem weird, but when they nerfed Vader, that doesn't do any damage anymore. Well, of course it does damage, the choke does damage, and the lightsaber does a little damage, but it used to be fine. But since they nerfed Vader, throwing your lightsaber at them while you're choking them does like no damage. One super good thing you should start doing that doesn't take a lot of practice at all is I'm going to show you a clip of it right now. See, it's super simple. All you have to do is just wait for the choke to be actually done, so where they start falling back to the ground, and you just gotta jump towards them while you're in the air. Just swing, just press right trigger once, and that'll get the job done. But obviously, if you have the Punishing Grip star card equipped, you won't need to do this if you're choking a 150 health infantry. Because if you don't like doing the choke then jump swing thing, or it feels weird, or you feel exposed while you're doing it, whatever, that's when you want to think to yourself, okay, maybe do I start one of using Punishing Grip so I don't have to go and finish them off? That's what I'm talking about when I say the star cards are up to you. I don't personally like using that in GA or Capital Supremacy, but you might. You know, I'm not the same person as you, so that's why I give you options on the star cards. Another thing I see some players do while they're playing as Darth Vader is they waste their choke too much. So what I mean by that is, a lot of times there's just like you're seeing right now, there's a guy right there, and they would use their choke on him. Although I will admit, choke is super fun to use and it looks super cool, but it has a pretty long recharge time, and sometimes it's the only button you can press to actually get you out of a tough situation. So you definitely want to use choke when you actually think you actually really need it, not just when there's one guy who's not even facing you, who you would just take one lightsaber hit to kill. Another kind of good ability combo you can do is when you're throwing your lightsaber, and while it's out of your hand, you just use your heal. I mean, it doesn't like give you extra health or anything like that. But Darth Vader, in the animation of his lightsaber throw, like he's already stopped, and then you can't be running while you use his heal. So it's just a good way to combine those two abilities. To throw your lightsaber while it's killing or hitting anyone that you threw it at, you just use your heal, and then you can finish him off with a choke or just normal lightsaber hits. So I think that is going to do it for the video on how to get better with Darth Vader. As always, if you have any questions on abilities, star cards, maps, anything like that, make sure to leave a comment because I will respond if you're unclear on something. But that is going to be all for the video, guys, so I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a subscribe and a like. And as always, I am Wiggle Burrito, and I will see you guys in the next one.